the province of Aragon, Spain, on the banks of the Ebro River, approximately 170 miles from Madrid, is the city of Zaragoza, home of the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Pillar, said to be the cradle of the Spanish Church. This shrine marks what the citizens believe to be the very first apparition of the Blessed Virgin. There is no substantial basis for this belief, for the story of this apparition is shrouded in myth. No eyewitness accounts exist, only fragments of a legend that generations have passed on through the years. Perhaps religious lore, but nevertheless vital to the faith of the people of Zaragoza. Legend has it that their patron saint, the Apostle James the Great, had gone to Spain to evangelize and that thousands were baptized by him. The story goes that on the night of the 2nd of January, 8 years after the ascension of Jesus, as he was praying with his followers on the banks of the river Ebro, the Blessed Virgin appeared to him, seated on top of a pillar of jasper, surrounded by a choir of angels. Mary blessed the apostle and informed him that Jesus had sent her to instruct James to erect a temple of prayer before returning to Jerusalem, so that paganism would be extinguished and that all who sought graces in her Son's name through her help would be given great blessings. This temple then would endure till the end of the world. She then commanded the angels to plant the column where it stands today. The angels then vanished and the vision was gone. James built a humble chapel to enclose the lady's gift and offered to God what is said to be the first shrine dedicated to the Virgin. A multitude of miracles is said to have been brought about by La Pilarica, as she is fondly called, but one stands out. On March 29, 1640, 2 years after his leg had been amputated by the celebrated surgeon Juan de Estanga, Miguel Juan Pellicer was awakened by his parents, who had been amazed to see a pair of feet protruding from beneath his blanket. He cried out that he had dreamt that he was at the church of La Pilarica and was anointing his stump with oil from one of the lamps as he used to do. He then looked down to discover that his leg had been restored. Interestingly enough, the scar of the incision remained as proof of the miracle. The news immediately spread, and the entire town flocked to the church with him to give thanks and praise. He was examined by physicians. Witnesses were questioned, and after a lengthy investigation, on April 27, 1641, the Archbishop of Zaragoza, Pedro Apalaura, pronounced the leg fully restored and the healing a phenomena beyond all natural powers. This verdict was signed by the Vicar General, the Archdeacon, the Senior Professor of Canon Law, and provincials of other orders. Since the time of the supposed apparition, the humble chapel has undergone several renovations. Kings and princes and pilgrims and saints have prayed at the shrine throughout the centuries. The interior of the chapel is lavishly decorated with costly gifts of gold and silver and precious stones. Such extravagance perhaps would today be frowned on, but every stone, every embroidered mantle, every ornament is a token of love that cannot be surpassed or equaled by material offerings. Devotion to La Pilarica has not ceased. Testament to this is a portion of the pillar of jasper that is exposed on the outer wall of the chapel. The stone, surrounded by a silver frame, has been hallowed by the kisses of millions who come to pray before the Lady of the Pillar. The image and the pillar have remained intact throughout the centuries. That the shrine itself enjoys some extraordinary form of protection is proudly displayed on one of the chapel walls. There, for all to see, are the 2 bombs that were dropped on the cathedral during the Spanish Civil War. Could it be that the fact that not even one of the 2 exploded was a sign that heaven had kept its promise? Will her temple really last and endure with the holy faith until the end of the world? What are we to make of the story? Can this apparition have possibly begun the series of strange and dazzling events later centuries were to witness?